Well, they were anticipating you.
Maybe so.
All right. Don't forget, of course, what was I going to say? Weather-wise for us today here in the Sand Hills area. It's going to be mostly cloudy today. In fact, you won't see much sunshine until Saturday. You might see a little bit tomorrow. Might see a little bit today. Not much to speak of, though. Look for mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. Scattered showers, 85 for a high, 50-50 shot of getting wet. Tonight, we'll up it to a 60% chance of thunderstorms, a low of 71. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, 50-50 chance again, high of 83. I want to thank the power company for blipping the power this morning. Just needed everything in my house reset right as I was getting up.
Well, you know, there was an earthquake. Well, there wasn't an earthquake, but you know.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, let's see, where are we at? Tomorrow night, Friday night football, partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorms, low of 70. It's going to be a home game against Richmond, military night at Pinecrest. Saturday, partly cloudy, more thunderstorms, high of 82. Yeah, summer is just locked in until Sunday. That's when it'll actually start and feel a little bit like fall. The dew points will drop a little bit, and the rain will move out. You might actually enjoy being outside since forever. Oh, I know, since last May. But anyway, right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 3006, dew point 71, humidity max at 100%. It's cloudy, 71 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Now, Matt was out yesterday. A group went to Washington. They said, hey, Matt, you want to get up at midnight and catch a bus with us at 1 a.m. in the morning, go all the way to Washington?
And I said,
doesn't that sound like fun?
I said, why, yes, I do. It sounds like a ball of fun, which we did.
Yeah.
We got there early. Found out it was the bus company that was just hedging their bet, saying, hey, we can't guarantee you unless we leave at this time. And so we got there early, but that's all right.
Early, like 5 in the morning?
Like 7. It was like 3 hours early.
Yeah, it's a slow driver.
So, well, we stopped for breakfast, and, you know.
Oh, that's 2 hours right there.
with a bus load of people. And I...
Was the bus full?
It was comfortably full.
Oh, she had the seat next to you.
There were 30 people on this trip, so a lot 60. Of people didn't have an extra seat, but a lot of us did. So,
yeah, I go straight to the back where they got that 3-seat bench.
Yeah,
plop my crap down, and that's bed for the next 5 hours.
No 3-seat bench. This was a nice bus with a latrine in the back and a place to plug in your phone, and what else? There, all kinds of stuff in that bus.
Heaven forbid you don't have that USB port.
No USB port, but...
you said to plug in your phone.
Yes, I did.
That'd be a USB port.
It was an AC port, 120, 110 port. It was a good trip. I got to talk to a couple of congressmen and got some info. Got some insight. Does that sound better?
No.
Got some inside information on a few things, and then unfortunately we didn't get to talk to Congressman Hudson quite as long as we wanted to because they called a floor vote.
Big shock there.
No, last time
he said, "Please."
Last time we sat down for
come in here and save me from these people.
Last time we sat down for 45 minutes, and he dragged it out until he had the staff waving hard at him in the back, but. And you know, he answers questions. He spends time, but I did wish I could ask him a few more questions about this.
So that's the difference between you and me. You go up, you drive 5 hours up, and spend all morning waiting on him, and then you see him. I pick up the phone and say, "Tell him when's he coming here?" They say when. They say, "Tell him to work me into his schedule," and he comes to the studio.
Yes. Well,
bring the mountain to Muhammad. Is that how it works?
Of course, it was a rally out in front of the Capitol with quite a few folks coming to speak, and so it was a good event. Good turnout, despite there were even some people from New Bern there.
What time did we get back last night?
10:30, 10:30, 10:30-ish or something. Unfortunately, when we got back, it was in the midst of that pouring rain.
Of course.
It was a hell of a down.
You didn't expect less, did you?
No rain at the event.
North Carolina.
No rain at the event. They were expecting rain at 7 o'clock at night. So all day it was, in fact, it was sunny. I got a little sunburn because I'm a translucent American. So there you go.
Well, at least you got back in time to get a decent night's sleep. Or you were just too wound up from the day.
Once you get back, then there's a lot of stuff to do to unload and get all the folks off, and so.
Unload, you're gone a day. I mean, you left that day, came back that day.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like you got 3 weeks of luggage with you.
When you're helping leading things, you know how it is. It's like after a game and you've got unloading to do and whatnot. Loading and unloading.
Okay. Well, as long as you had fun.
Well, the point was not fun.
Well, as long as it was meaningful to you.
Meaningful and productive, yes.
Well, I didn't notice any change in the world, so I'm not sure how much you got done.
Well, there you go.
All right, we'll have to wait and see.
I was effective in talking to one congressman. He shut your power off for a while. That's right, I said it.
Well, it's just the monopoly we give the power company to mow over us as they please. Well, you knew it was coming. You knew they couldn't resist. It's pumpkin spice going too far.
The gas grill, the remote control, free internet porn. Two men, the greatest inventions of all time, right? Until now. Introducing new pumpkin spice Fruit of the Loom underwear for men. The same fit and comfort, but with the heat-activated scent of pumpkin spice woven into the special fabric blend, which means when you let one rip.
Honey, that smells great. Did you light a candle?
Yeah, something like that. Just think of it. Your triple enchilada lunch with a double side of beans now fills the room with the relaxing fragrance of autumn.
Yankee Candle?
No. Taco Bell. New pumpkin spice Fruit of the Looms. And coming soon for the over 70 crowd, new pumpkin spice Depends.
Yeah, you can tell I didn't preview that one.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sorry about that. Once in a while, one slips through. They usually...
No pun intended.
My service puts it'll put warning on there. It'll say warning, sexual content or,
vulgarity of some sort.
Or passing gas sounds, things like that. It gives me the warning.
Yeah.
In which case I'll skip it if I haven't heard it. But this one was not marked at all. It just said new pumpkin spice Fruit of the Looms. Well, I didn't know it was going to be quite like that.
Let that learn you.
I go through so much material in the morning, sometimes I'll skip something. This one I did preview. The president has been speaking a lot, like to the United Nations yesterday, and they had a press conference yesterday, which screwed up every automation system in the country because Sean decided, let's cut off the automation tones and just carry him in without interruption. And then we'll cut the tones back on and your computer's not in sync with the world anymore, and, it's a big mess. Fortunately, we have software that will eventually sync it back, but it got me on the phone with the network. I said, not everybody dances to your tune. Not everybody's monitoring his show. When you deliberately don't send the program tones and throw everybody off in this country, you've gone too far. Stick with your format. If the president needs uninterrupted time, he can activate the emergency action system, emergency notification system, and do it. It's not up to Sean to pull that call on all these stations.
Yeah, and there's no to every station.
Sean's too damn lazy to do his show is what it says.
Every station is different. Everybody's got different requirements and abilities and staffing. So, yeah, it'd be a big problem.
There are things called closures that the network send down that the receiver picks up on and keeps all our system in sync with them. They set it up, and they need to stay with it and not just send an email all of a sudden that says, you need to monitor your boards. We may not send network tunes. Oh, it doesn't mean I saw that email. I don't check my email every 5 minutes. Nobody does. Anyway, with the extra audio they had, our production team just couldn't resist themselves. And into the studio they went.
The Sopranos are back on HBO. But Tony's gone, so now there's a new mob boss making people pay for protection.
You should reimburse us for this protection. Why are we protecting you?
No, I'll come up with the money.
Because if they don't, they're going out of business.
Yeah, out of business.
Can you imagine if you didn't have me?
I'll get the money by tomorrow.
Deals. You never know.
It won't happen again.
They agreed with me.
Suddenly he's real agreeable. A new season of The Sopranos coming soon to HBO. Because there's a new boss in town.
Nobody's going to give me credit, but that's okay. That's okay.
See, that one didn't have warnings on it either. And you see it was much better.
Wow. Were you holding your breath?
No. I had listened to that one enough to know that what the flavor was. Stupid news. This is just a mean prank. Maybe we ought to drag these people in for cruelty to elderly. Family in Maine, I guess they had nothing else to do, tricked their grandfather into eating cat food. They removed most of the label, but really it was his own fault. He was eating straight out of the can, so he could have gone by the shape alone. I don't know, tuna comes in the same size cans, doesn't it?
It does. You can also get cat food in big cans.
Here is Grandpa.
Supposed to be chicken? What does it taste like? I gotta read this. I think it's cat food. This is cat food.
What does it say?
This is cat food.
That's when Grandpa would get up and go over and grab his wheel and say, see this? This is my wheel. And what's your name? Oh, yeah, Tony.
That was Maine?
You're no longer in the wheel. And what's your name? Susie. You're no longer in the wheel.
Yeah.
Ha, 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 ha. That's on you.
I'll go into the local pound.
That's right. I'll give it to the nearest cat shelter.
Was that in Maine?
Huh?
That was in Maine?
Yeah.
These are the people that send us Susan Collins and what's her name?
The other brain trust of the world.
Brain trust.
A new study says that men who talk fast are more attractive to women. Remember John Machetta, the guy who used to talk fast in those 80s commercials? I believe it was FedEx commercials he talked real fast on.
I don't know. I'd have to hear it.
Well, anyway, you're going to hear it. JetBlue brought him back to do a little while ago for one of their commercials too. Here.
Okay, units, travel plans. I need to be in New York on Monday, LA on Tuesday, New York on Wednesday, LA on Thursday, New York on Friday. Got it? Got it. So you want to work here? What really makes you think you deserve a job here?
Well, sir, I think on my feet I'm good at figures and have a sharp mind.
Excellent. Can you start on Monday?
Yes, sir, absolutely, without hesitation.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And in conclusion, Jim, Bill, Bob, Call, Fred, Load, Dog, Abe, and Ted. Business is business, and as we all know, in order to get something done, you got to do something. In order to do something, we got to get to work. So let's get to work. Thank you for taking the meeting. Petey did a bang-up job. I'm putting you in charge of Pittsburgh. I know it's perfect, Peter. That's why I picked Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's perfect. Peter, may I call you Pete?
Call me Pete.
Pete.
Is Mr. Schnittler here to see you?
I'll have to wait 15 seconds.
Can you wait 15 seconds?
I'll wait 15 seconds.
Congratulations on your deal in Denver, Dave. I'm putting you down to deal with Dallas. Don, is it a deal? Do we have a deal? It's a deal. I got to go. I got a call coming in. Remember me, Mr. Nonstop, the guy who can't stop, won't stop, don't cage me, don't fence me in, don't hold me back, and don't cut me short. Also, don't call me short. I'm sensitive about my height, but not about my weight. I look good for a 35-year-old.
Okay. At least you could understand that versus rap.
Yo, yo, yo.
No, I mean, I'll get back to the rap in a second. I got to stay in the same vein here. The interesting, the study didn't find that talking fast helps women get men. But it did find that women with breathy voices were more sexually experienced. Remember this lady and her breathy voice?
Didn't you just love the picture? I did. But I just felt so sorry for the creature at the end.
Sorry for the creature? Why'd you want him to marry the girl?
He was kind of scary looking, but he wasn't really all bad. I think he just craved a little affection. You know, a sense of being loved and needed and wanted.
That's a very interesting point of view.
Oh, do you feel the breeze from the subway? Isn't it delicious?
There you go. Breathy voice.
Who was that, Joy Behar?
Marilyn Monroe from the 7-Year Itch. Some company just created a car, get some music here, with bike pedals. Instead of an accelerator, you can exercise during your commute. You're not actually making the car go with pedal power, obviously, but you will feel like the Flintstones.
Yeah, if there's one thing we want to feel like when we're in a car, it's like we're in Stone Age.
Oh, yeah, like I got to pedal the car where it's going. I guess that's on the passenger side.
They're selling like hotcakes in the central California area.
All right, enough Flintstones. Now they have a soundbite here of, where is it? An 11-year-old rapper named Lele. And she was on Ellen yesterday. She's the youngest female rapper ever signed to a major record label. And Ellen seemed impressed with her performance. Here again, it's hard to understand a single word being said, but here's your next sensation.
Check up the dudes, Lele's in it, yeah I can flow, go for some minutes, I'm on the go, car tenant, they say go, spit a sentence, drink juice, eat some spinach, bullet the game, then it's the minutes, take the beat, but I didn't invent it, copy they flow, it's easy to mimic, ain't got time, hit one model, I'm on my grind, catch me in the kitchen, making slum,
oh, find me a baseball bat so I can beat my ears out. That's horrible. I'm sure some people
argue with you.
Some people, I guess, get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Sounds like a little kid trying to rap.
If I had that crap running in my ear all day long, talk about a bad mood. From a good news file, a couple in Minnesota got married at a firehouse when their other wedding venue fell through because the groom is a firefighter. And he actually left the wedding to go fight a fire nearby. He got married, then he had to leave the wedding, then he came back. Luckily, he got back in time for the reception. The names are Krista and Jeremy Barraza, and they're both in this clip along with their wedding photographer.
I'm a lucky girl, that's for sure. He got down on one knee in the middle of the woods and popped the question.
Yeah, it was her idea.
What a cool spot, you know.
She talked me into it.
I loved it. We kept joking, you know, what if there's a fire call? What are you going to do? You're not leaving our wedding, you know? No way.
She says jump, I say all right. Especially when it comes to that day.
Crash fully involved with 6 Black Smells.
I looked at her and she just kind of did the, no, we're doing pictures.
I had everybody lined up out front. We were doing our big group photo.
Baseball Park fire, request for mutual aid to Cottage Grove fire.
They do what's called an all-call.
Newport fire all-call.
Which is they need more people now.
I just looked over at Jeremy and I could just see it in his eyes. He felt so torn. And I just said, go ahead and go, babe, just go, they need you. It was a cool moment. It was a neat moment.
Being, the bride, that's your day. Words can't really describe it,
I've got the rest of my life with him. They needed him for that moment.
That just kind of put the ice on the cake for I know she's the one for the rest of my life.
Unconditional, unselfish love. Not only for each other, but for both of them, for their community, and for what's right. You can just see it, the emotion in them. That's who they are.
It'll definitely be a day I won't forget.
Yeah.
You just know that she is absolutely the one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope it works out for him. I'm sure she enjoyed him bringing back the smell of smoke to the reception.
She thinks he's hot.
He might be. I don't have a picture of him. President Trump held a press conference yesterday and talked about the sexual assault allegations against Brett Kavanaugh. The general takeaway seems to be that he's a little... he basically thinks it's a big con job.
I think when you really look at it all, it's not going to change any of the Democrats' minds. They're obstructionists. They're actually con artists because they know how quality this man is, and they've destroyed a man's reputation, and they know it's a big, fat con job. This is a big con job, and I would love to be in the room with the Democrats, close the door, when you guys are all away outside waiting, and Schumer and his buddies are all in there laughing how they fooled you all. A big, fat con.
It's pretty clear that's exactly what it is.
Sounded a little like the old Dish Network commercial. Remember that one?
Con job. Con job. Con job. Con job.
Con job. Dirty cons.
It's a real old-fashioned con job.
And of course our production team just said, please let us run with this one.
The big fat con job. 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 The big fat con job.
Yeah, well, I just gave it to him 5 this morning. So they came back with.
If you did not hear Mark Levin last night, right here on this station, you should listen to the first segment of the right at the 6 o'clock hour, because he really lays down these accusations and leaves you thinking.
I thought you were on the bus.
I was on the bus. I listen to WEEB every chance I get, Steve.
So you're the one eating up all the bandwidth, are you?
WEEB Southern Pines. Yeah, the bus had Wi-Fi, but they didn't allow streaming. I had to go out on the network for that.
Audio didn't eat up much.
Yeah, but they blocked streaming.
Well, why do they do that?
They didn't block picture uploading, but they blocked streaming.
That's the thing. You get into restaurants, free Wi-Fi, with this, free that. You get in there and it's all throttled down to a pulse that you can't use.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still uploading half an hour later? I thought it was free in here. And then, for staff and management, the Peasley little customers get a few flakes of bandwidth, and that's it.
Enough to get your email, I guess. I did cheat my fellow bus riders, though. We pulled into McDonald's for breakfast, so I got my app out and ordered, and then I walked in and used the facilities, and when I came out, here's a line of people at the thing, and they called out, "Was there a mobile order?" I said, "Why, yes, there was." "Hand that to me so I can watch everyone else wait in line."
Let's see if we got anything else. Don't have a whole lot of time. Oh, Meghan Markle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's her, the Duchess of wherever.
Duchess of wherever.
Yeah, they got so many titles over there. Who can keep up with them? They're saying that she's adopting a British accent. So here's the Duchess with her new accent.
My goodness, it's amazing, isn't it? The work that they did here is just so beautiful. I'm sure they told you the thinking behind, for me, including some sort of representation of all 53 of the Commonwealth countries, which was key. And I'd originally said to Claire Waite Keller, the designer, how can we incorporate that? Would it be the state flower, country flower of each place? And it was her idea to do wildflowers, which I think ended up being a really beautiful way to embody.
I didn't hear a British accent.
Remember on her wedding day, all of a sudden she says, I do, and all of a sudden it's British talk.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
We all had a great day, I think. The sun was shining for us. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, very lucky all around.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
Was there British in that one?
Yeah. It's that prim and proper talk now that I'm a duchess.
Well, you know, she's fitting into her new country. It makes sense.
Yeah. Gag me with a spoon, please. All right. Currently here in the Sand Hills, 71 degrees. On our way for a high today of soaking 85. Your full forecast is next. Little Cats in the Weather Center, followed by your news, 8 o'clock.
Good morning. You'll want to grab your umbrella or your rain gear today as showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast. They'll be on and off throughout the day and into tonight, and high temperatures will climb into the lower 70s to the north, mid-80s to the south under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, lingering showers and storms with lows in the mid to upper 60s, and for your Friday forecast, showers and thunderstorms will stay in the forecast as a cold front stays stationary across North Carolina. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 PM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The accused and the accuser testify today on Capitol Hill. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee in a couple of hours. Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines with a look at some of the testimony prepared for delivery later today.
According to a transcript released by the committee, Christine Blasey Ford will say that she feared that Kavanaugh, quote, was going to rape her. She's also expected to say the experience led to years of panic attacks and trauma. In his opening statement, Judge Kavanaugh is expected to say, quote, I categorically and unequivocally deny the allegation. He's expected to add, I am innocent of the charge.
President Trump strongly defends Kavanaugh, says he will watch the hearing today with an open mind.
The president insists that accusations against Kavanaugh are false, but he wants to hear the testimony.
I'm going to see what's said. It's possible that they will be convincing.
At a solo news conference, Mr. Trump complained that there's been a rush to judgment against his Supreme Court nominee.
When you are guilty until proven innocent, it's just not supposed to be that way.
He said he looks forward to watching Thursday's hearing. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Seems the sky's the limit when it comes to projections for economic growth. And the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
You know, the growth picture is very much supported by very high readings of household confidence, business confidence. So it's a particularly bright moment, I think. If you look back over the last decade, this is a pretty good moment for the U.S. economy.
And to keep the economy from overheating, the Fed has once again raised a key short-term interest rate. It's the third increase this year. Another is expected before the end of the year. And on Wall Street this morning, stock futures are higher. Dow futures up about 18 points. NASDAQ futures better by 20 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. In half an hour, we worked out a plan. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. Call 1-800-990-6976.
The Dutch government is proposing some new gun ownership laws that have privacy advocates up in arms.
The draft law states that to register gun ownership, people must declare their race or ethnicity, political beliefs, religious or other lifestyle convictions, as well as health and criminal records. The sensitive information would be held for up to 30 years. The Justice Minister explained it was designed to counter the diverse risk factors attached to guns. The proposed changes have been criticised by privacy groups and Democrat politicians, one of whom said the extra checks would amount to discrimination and ethnic profiling.
That's BBC's Anna Holligan. A man who missed his flight at the airport in Dublin, Ireland, has been arrested after running after the plane on the tarmac. Witnesses say the man broke through a door and ran toward the Ryanair plane, which was about to take off for Amsterdam. Townhall.com. The murder case against an ex-Minneapolis cop will be going back to court today.
Attorneys representing former Minneapolis police officer Mohammed Noor and prosecutors will be in court today to argue whether a criminal case against Noor should go forward. Noor fatally shot an unarmed Australian woman last year while responding to her 911 call reporting a possible sexual assault in the alley behind her home. The shooting of Justine Ruchik-Damon sent shockwaves from Minnesota to Australia. Attorneys for Noor have asked the judge to dismiss charges for a lack of probable cause. I'm Mike Gracia.
Florida man's been sentenced to 20 years prison for threatening to kill a judge he believed ruled against him in a custody case. The Daytona Beach News-Journal reports 36-year-old Alan McCarty Jr. spent much of the hearing in an adjacent room with a speaker and one-way glass, just like he did during his trial, after he shouted obscenities at the judge, prosecutor, even his own public defender. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and for a long time now you've been listening to me tell you all the reasons why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff. Well, I've got some good news for you. On October 6th, from 1 to 5 p.m., you're invited to a gathering hosted by Steve Adams. It'll be at the Smoke Inn, next to Golf Augusta on US 1. The purpose of this get-together is to allow Steve to meet you and to explain his vision and his plans for the Moore County Sheriff's Office. And while you're speaking with him, you can enjoy wings and pulled pork with all the trimmings. It'll be a good time to ask Steve about his plans, including the no-kill animal shelter. I hope you'll join us for Meet Sheriff Candidate Steve Adams, October 6th, 1 to 5 p.m. at the Smoke Inn.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
It's 1946, and Pinehurst Surgical is just getting started doing orthopedic surgery in the Sand Hills area. Pinehurst Surgical was ahead of its time then and still is, leading the way with innovative orthopedic services at the Sports, Spine, and Joint Center. But it's not about Pinehurst Surgical. It's about you and the care you receive. Go to pinehurstsurgical.com/orthopedics or call 910-295-0259. 910-295-0259.
Hey, it's Keith again from Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines. Did you know that we offer zero-interest financing for up to 48 months, or we're 100% locally owned and operated since 2002, that we carry over 75 iron and wood headboards and footboards that are up to 60% off retail prices, with closeouts constantly coming in, and that we have our very own home delivery team dedicated to customer service, our dream team, that will not only set up your new bed, but will also remove your old mattress and donate it to a local family in need. Well, now you know. Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More across from Goodwill in Southern Pines. Better sleep, sweeter dreams.
Thank you for calling Carolina Air. How can I help you?
Well, someone told me you folks don't charge for a service call. I don't believe it.
It is true, ma'am. We get that reaction a lot.
How do you stay in business?
Well, our service calls are free, but we do charge if you need parts or repair.
What if I decide not to fix it?
No charge.
Wow, most companies charge $100 just to come out.
It is hard to believe, but at Carolina Air, we do not charge to come to your home. So schedule your free appointment at carolinaair.com or 910-684-3864.
Carolina Air, comfort and safety, because we care. Clean, professional, heating and cooling. Carolina Air, the friendly guys. Service, installation, and regular maintenance. Unbeatable, dependable, every time. So CarolinaAir.com. Carolina Air, comfort and safety, because we care.
NCN News. I'm Tony Rixby. The Senate Judiciary Committee hears this morning from Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and the woman who accuses him of trying to rape her when they were teens, Christine Blasey Ford. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Magani reports the hearing could have wide-ranging effects.
What happens today in room 226 of the Dirksen Senate office building may tilt not only the November elections and help decide which party controls Congress, but could also sway the Supreme Court's direction for decades. It's one of the most anticipated hearings in a generation, on a par and Anita Hill.
With much attention focused on the Senate Kavanaugh hearing, President Trump might postpone a scheduled White House meeting today with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein.
I'm Tom Foti. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein oversees the Russia investigation, but his Justice Department future has been in doubt after critical remarks about Mr. Trump attributed to him.
My preference would be to keep him and to let him finish up. You know, I call it a witch hunt, and it is a witch hunt.
Which now has his ex-campaign chairman in jail, several other high-ranking Trump aides pleading guilty, and dozens of Russians under criminal indictment. Tom Foti, CBS News, Washington.
North Carolina agricultural leaders released an early estimate of just how much Florence impacted one of the top industries in the state. They estimate total agricultural losses of more than $1.1 billion. That's more than double the damage left from Hurricane Matthew just 2 years ago. Tammy Woodall telling WNCN it's been a slow comeback, with flooding taking out greens on their land and other crops around the state.
A lot of the farmers had really just started planting a lot of the fall crops in August, so they were just starting to grow, so it wasn't time to really start harvesting.
You're listening to NCN News.
What's the best-selling small tractor in America? Kubota's BX Series Compact. Now get a BX 1880 for as low as $99 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to gokubota.com for more information.
Hey Hoops fans, basketball season is almost here, and the 2018 ACC Basketball Preview Magazine is available for pre-order right now at ACCSports.com. Get the scoop on all the teams before the season starts with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Pre-order your copy today by going to ACCSports.com and clicking on the pre-order banner.
Kubota's L2501DT packs powerful performance in one easy-to-operate compact tractor. Now get payments as low as $135 a month with Kubota.com for more information.
Trenton Elementary and Jones Middle School, both in Jones County, are closed for the remainder of the school year due to storm damage. The decision damages Jones County Public School Super.
Get into those schools in time to save equipment, resources, materials, all the above.
Mildew and mold, the leading causes of those closures. The State Highway Patrol is looking for more than a few good men and women. Over 200 trooper positions are currently vacant within the agency. Sergeant Christopher Knox told WRAL-TV they need to dispel some of the myths that surround his profession.
We just need to put some rumors to rest. We need to change that narrative. Law enforcement, in general, has kind of had a bad rap in the last few years. We know that we have great people doing great things.
Deadly violence against transgender people is rising at what some call an alarming rate. CBS News correspondent Peter King.
A recent killing in Laredo, Texas is believed to be the 21st involving a transgender victim this year. The numbers are inching closer to last year's total of 28 murders. The Human Rights Campaign reports those numbers have risen every year since 2013. USA Today says 19 of the victims were people of color, 5 of them women. Nikki Enriquez, the woman killed in Laredo, was the final victim of a killing spree of sex workers there, and the 5th known transgender victim in 3 weeks. Peter King, CBS News.
Google, 20 years old today. Technology consultant Larry Magid.
20 years ago, Google started the process of fundamentally changing the way people acquire knowledge. It's hard to overestimate the importance of that. It used to be that if you wanted information, you either had to go to a library or find an expert. Now people just take it for granted that they could find almost any information they want from their phone or
I'm Tony Rixby, NCN News.
Good morning. Mostly cloudy skies are in the forecast today, and high temperatures will range from the low 70s to the north to the mid-80s to the south as a cold front divides the state. That front is going to stall out and continue to bring showers and thunderstorms to the area today. A few strong thunderstorms can't be ruled out as well. Storm chances are going to linger into the overnight hours and into your Friday as well. Tonight, low temperatures fall into the mid to upper 60s. Mostly cloudy skies again tomorrow with highs in the mid-80s. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sandhills area, it's cloudy, 71 degrees, humidity maxed at 100%, dew point 71, pressure at 3009, winds calm, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sandhills news for this Thursday morning. 2 women were extricated from an overturned SUV after a vehicle accident yesterday near downtown Southern Pines. The accident happened right before noon at the US 1 exit in the 400 block of West Pennsylvania Avenue. A Toyota Corolla crashed into the side of a Dodge Nitro, flipping the struck vehicle on its side and trapping the driver and passenger inside. Members of the Southern Pines Fire and Rescue Department freed the woman after removing the windshield. The victim suffered some cuts and other injuries, but were not believed to be life-threatening. The driver of the Corolla told paramedics she was experiencing chest pains, but was otherwise unscathed. And Moore County has been declared a disaster county by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. These declarations authorize Moore County Department of Social Services to administer the Disaster Food and Nutrition Benefits Program. This program is designed to authorize food stamp benefits for eligible households that are not currently receiving food and nutrition benefits and have experienced a loss as a result of Hurricane Florence. Residents may qualify for assistance for a 1-month period if their home was damaged or destroyed, or they have disaster-related expenses, or they lost income or had food loss because of power outage or household flooding resulting from Hurricane Florence. Eligibility is based on available income and resources. Residents currently receiving food stamp benefits, including those requesting replacement benefits, are not eligible for this disaster program. Applications for disaster food and nutrition benefits will be taken at the DSS building at 1036 Carriage Oaks Drive in Carthage beginning this Friday and Saturday and all next week. The hours will be 8 to 5 each weekday, 9 to 5 Saturday. That's your latest Sandhills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here and right now on Talk 97.3 FM. 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers are the latest teams to clinch a playoff berth, and there's a new leader in the National League West. The Cubs, they squandered a 6-1 lead before Albert Almora Jr. provided a walk-off single in the 10th inning to push the Cubs past the Pirates. Almora says they'd like to do more celebrating this weekend.
We're not taking this for granted. You know, we're super pumped that we're in the playoffs, but our job's not done. We want to take this division and move forward with the best record in the NL.
The Cubs beat the Pirates 7-6. The Brewers nailed down their first playoff appearance in 7 years with a 2-1 victory at St. Louis. The Cardinals, they remain a game behind the Dodgers for the second NL wild card. Los Angeles, meanwhile, fell into the second NL wild card spot with a 7-2 loss at Arizona. Colorado, they've taken over first place in the NL West, and they pushed a half game ahead of LA following the Rockies' 14-0 crushing of the Phillies. The Orioles, on the other side of success, they set a franchise record for their 112th loss. They absorbed a 19-3 thrashing by the Red Sox in Game 1 of a doubleheader in Boston. Baltimore avoided loss number 113 by winning the nightcap 10-3. The Tar Heels, they're in action tonight as the NCAA schedule gets going. Carolina on the road to play 16th-ranked Miami, the game nationally televised on ESPN. Miami beat Carolina 24-19 last year in Chapel Hill. Coach Larry Fedora asked this week if that game was talked about while they prepared for tonight's matchup.
I don't really spend a lot of time talking about last year and everything that happened with us. We've done that in the past, and we've learned from the mistakes that we made, and really, because this team and Miami's team, there's nothing about us that's the same. So they know the history, they know what's happened, and they know how we're going to have to play. They know Miami's going to be prepared, and they know we're going to have to play a great game to get it done.
This is NCN Sports.
Will Democrats break Republican supermajorities in the North Carolina General Assembly? Will this year's election change the course of the state Supreme Court? What about all those constitutional amendments on the ballot? Carolina Journal will help you answer those questions. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
The annual Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is on the road again.
Our Big Tailgate Tour has another big game this week as New Hampshire visits FCS Power Elon on Saturday. Find our Continental Tire tents from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. right next to Rhodes Stadium as we tailgate and talk football before kickoff.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and more from Sport Clips, Lose It and Lose It, and Continental Tire. Remember to drive with care on your Continental Tires and experience the ultimate MVP haircut at Sport Clips.
Tailgate with us. BigTailgateTour.com.
Week 4 of the NFL gets going tonight when the Vikings take on the Rams in L.A. Minnesota hopes to bounce back from their loss to the Bills on Sunday. It's a tall order against the Rams. They are pretty tough this year. The Bills, meanwhile, their running back, LaShawn McCoy, expects to play at Green Bay on Sunday after missing one game with a rib cartilage injury. The Packers announced they've signed defensive back Bashaud Breeland, adding a veteran to take on Devon House's place after the cornerback was placed on IR with a shoulder injury. Chargers defensive end Joey Bosa remains sidelined with a foot injury, but he's hopeful he can return in early November. The Patriots say they placed running back Rex Burkhead on injured reserve. That's 3 days after he left the game against the Lions with a neck injury. And the Texans safety Andre Hale's Hodgkin's lymphoma is in remission. The Texans trainer says there's a possibility he could see playing time this year. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Am I wrong, or have we become conditioned to voting for political candidates just because they're a Democrat? Or just because they're a Republican? Depending on your values and your point of view, members of the other party may seem despicable to you. Still, it's possible, just possible, that there's no good choice in the party you favor. And that brings me to my point. It's now possible for a candidate to get on the ballot without running as a Republican or as a Democrat. And believe me, that's not easy. Both parties protect themselves pretty well. We have just such an instance in the race for Moore County Sheriff. Steve Adams is running for sheriff as unaffiliated. Democrat leadership doesn't like that. But then again, neither does Republican leadership. After all, they have always handpicked the candidate that you were allowed to vote for. Well, not this time. Steve Adams has thwarted their good old boy system. And believe me, it was quite a fight. First, he single-handedly uncovered a scandal in the sheriff's office, and after much hard work was able to get it brought to light. Next, Steve had to collect thousands of signatures in order to even get on the ballot. He did so at great odds. Once, a lady collecting signatures for him in Vass was told to leave by the chief of police in Vass. Can you imagine? Steve persevered. He did so against great odds. You can vote for Steve Adams in this election. The party bosses can't stop you. Steve Adams outmaneuvered their little system. And there are literally millions of reasons to vote for Steve in the form of taxpayer savings. And I hope you'll go to his website and look them up. My name is John Zumwalt, and I'm supporting Steve Adams for Sheriff of Moore County.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
This is John Davis from Wild Birds Unlimited in Southern Pines. If your bird feeders are impossible to keep clean, are falling apart, are rotting, rusting, or cracking, it might be time to upgrade to a new feeder. If so, you're in luck. The end of September, we have our annual feeder swap sale. Bring in any old feeder and save 15 to 20% off a new one. We have a wide variety of feeders that can fit every budget and need. Our Wild Birds Unlimited brand feeders are made in the USA and come with lifetime warranties. We have feeders that are much easier to clean than most. We have feeders that drain water better than most. Maybe most importantly, we actually have feeders that really do stop squirrels. Our hot pepper cylinder food and feeders can stop all mammals, like squirrels, mice and voles, raccoons and deer. The sale ends soon, so stop in and see us so we can help you enjoy this wonderful hobby to the fullest and help you turn your yard into your own backyard oasis. Wild Birds Unlimited, located in the Kohl's and Hobby Lobby Shopping Center in Southern Pines.
Hey Jerry, have you seen the new menu at the Hickory Tavern?
Seen it? Try to keep up, will you, Charles? I've already been sampling.
Well, don't just sing it, bring it. Tell me about it.
For starters, you've got to try the Hickory Tavern's new flatbread. The barbecue chicken flatbread is my favorite. Roasted chicken, barbecue sauce, red onion, jack and cheddar, then drizzled with sour cream and cilantro. And here's something you won't find anywhere else. The Hawaiian pork, yes, pork brie-bite, marinated for 48 hours in a pineapple, ginger, soya, and sesame recipe, served with tavern greens and fries, and reasonably priced too. Hey, where you going?
Where do you think, Jerry? Time to fuel up at the Hickory.
I got you blocked in. I bet I beat you there.
As we always say, the Hickory Tavern. Come for the game. Stay for the food. Diabetics need more magnesium and B vitamins, not only to help them with diabetes, but also because nearly all diabetic meds deplete them. Health Innovations Pharmacy now offers Replenish, a line of complete multivitamins designed specifically to address those depletion issues, along with 5 other specific formulations. Since these are complete multivitamins, you can consolidate your pill box and budget. Even better when you consider Health Innovations Pharmacy offers 20% off all vitamins every day. Health Innovations Pharmacy offers flu, pneumonia, and shingle shots. Take advantage of special pricing going on now on lift chairs and rollators with $50 off. It's our way of saying thanks for allowing us to serve you, Moore County. Health Innovations Pharmacy on Pinehurst Avenue in Southern Pines. Locally owned, serving Moore County since 2001.
Dad always seemed to know what was best when it came to repairing your car, but your European car is from a new era. You need a real pro now. Rick knows what's best for your European car. Let Rick help keep your costs in check. Vintage and modern European at NC 211 East and Indiana in Aberdeen is your choice when extremely knowledgeable service or repair is needed. And his white glove premium service is standard. For fully authorized European service, call Rick at Vintage and Modern 944-1023. That's 944-1023.
It's Thursday, and you know what that means, Dorothy.
Thirsty Thursday at Lowe's Foods?
Indeed. Sip and shop while you enjoy half price on pints.
Sounds like a great way to jumpstart the weekend.
Again, I say indeed.
And don't forget, Lowe's offers personal shopping service for those in a rush. Check out the free 30-day trial. Lay back and let Lowe's Foods to Go save you time.
Go to shoplowesfoods.com, pick your items, pay, then swing by for a quick pickup or have delivered to your door.
Hey. Yeah? What's up? Have you seen that new Crime Victims Amendment that's going to be on the ballot in November? Oh, yeah. I heard that it's going to guarantee victims of crime equal rights in our state constitution. I mean, who would oppose giving crime victims equal rights? I know. I think it's crazy that in North Carolina, criminals are more protected than the people they've hurt. Yeah, I was shocked too. But this will fix that by giving crime victims the right to be present at the trial, to be treated with respect and dignity, the right to safety and privacy, and to be notified of a criminal's escape or release. Anyone can be a victim of crime. Our family, our friends. Voting to protect them seems like a no-brainer.
Crime victims in North Carolina deserve equal rights. This November, vote yes for the Crime Victims Amendment on your ballot. Paid for by Marcy's Law for North Carolina, LLC.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. This will be hard for a lot of you to believe, but being gay has not always been so widely accepted as it is today. It used to be a career killer, and as hard as that may be for you to accept as true, it's a fact, and ignoring it doesn't change it. In the early 70s, when I was a Houston cop, we had a new guy right out of the police academy on our shift. One night, for fun, one of the older cops said he believed the guy was gay, only he didn't use the word gay. He used all the words that we don't use today. Well, the poor guy had no idea what was going on. He didn't even know everyone was talking about him. And pretty soon, it was an accepted fact that, yep, this guy's gay. No proof, no anecdotal information, nothing. He was gay. And you know what happened? He ended up quitting and moving. In those days, you just could not overcome such a thing. Now, this is not a condemnation of gay people. This is a condemnation of people without thought, without facts and credible knowledge. This is the third time I've spoken in the last few days about the Supreme Court hearing. I'm really bothered by it. You'd think our hypocritical congresspersons had never drank, never uttered a curse word, and never had an unclean thought. All this unproven condemnation is fine, unless it's you, and it could be, but I can promise you this, it will never be you coming from the Zoomwald zone.
Good morning. You'll want to grab your umbrella or your rain gear today as showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast. They'll be on and off throughout the day and into tonight, and high temperatures will climb into the lower 70s to the north, mid-80s to the south under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, lingering showers and storms with lows in the mid to upper 60s, and for your Friday forecast, showers and thunderstorms will stay in the forecast as a cold front stays stationary across North Carolina. I'm Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
What is today? Today is Thursday.
What is that today?
Rise and shine.
No.
Back it up.
Get up.
Rise and shine.
Wake up! Wake up!
Also, it is Thursday. Gotta get up.
Rise and shine.
You're not the boss of me.
Okay, the show's about to start. Let's get ready.
It's showtime.
I'll keep working my way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. Yeah, I'm working my way back to you, babe, and the happiness that I get away.
Been praying every day.
You were so in love with me. I played around like I was free. Thought I could have my cake and eat it too. But how I cried over losing you. See, I'm down and out. I ain't about to go living my life without you. Yeah, every day I made you cry. I made it, girl, till the day I die. I'll be working my way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. Yeah, I'm working my way back to you, babe, and the happiness that I let it get away.
Been praying every day.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm the Leader Man's confusing sidekick, Matt Horsley. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do it for you. Put Mornings with the Leader Man, all one word into the search. If you're on your mobile device needing our crystal clear digital audio stream only, I always suggest tune in iTunes. Other platforms will play us. Put WEEB into the search and we should pop up to the top of your results. And on our website at talk973.com, the icon in the upper right-hand corner of every single web page that says Listen Live. You just tap that once and you're listening just that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area, it's going to be, front stalls on top of us, and that's just going to give us a chance of rain throughout the whole period. Mostly cloudy today. Scattered showers, high of 85, and get this, they put the heat index in there, which means real muggy. Heat index of 90. Tonight, more of the same, maybe a thunder boomer or two in there like we had last night, a little 71. Trying to give the power company an excuse to blip your power. So everything resets. The air conditioner goes off, blows those fuses on the AC. You know what I'm talking about. We congratulate the power company on doing it like they did in 1900 so we can have the same quality of power.
We even brought in a clapping audio clip on that one.
Yeah. Friday, mostly cloudy, scattered showers, 83 for a high. Saturday, more of the same with thunderstorms, 82 for a high. Sunday, that front pushes out of here and we get dry weather and a little less humidity, so it might start to feel a little more fallish. These dew points won't be in the 70s. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3009, dew point 70. Humidity maxed at 100% and it's cloudy and 71 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, 8:33 past the hour, and we're going to start the stopwatch for those that listen but support someone else. So just because all the following is going to be paid for by Adams for sheriff. So stopwatch is going. All right, just want to talk about two events right quick. First of all, the one that's coming up, not this Saturday, but next Saturday at the Smoke Inn, is the meet and greet event. They got Autumn Fest downtown in Southern Pines. In fact, I'm going to be at that in the morning, and then over at the Smoke Inn in the afternoon, but like for you to come on by either one. But the Smoke Inn right there next to Golf Augusta on US 1, next to Southern Tropic Pools and Spas, which is next to Smithfield Barbecue. There's a little shopping strip right there next to Smithfield Barbecue, and the Smoke Inn's down at the end. And it's a nice facility if you're not a smoker, and I'm not a smoker. They got a nice patio there you can get out on where you're not in any smoke. So it's a cigar smoking venue. So this is an adult thing. But we'll have pulled pork, spears, wings, barbecued wings, and all the fixings that go with it catered in there. And you're welcome to come by and enjoy lunch with us or an early dinner and talk about the campaign. And I'd like to hear from you. Any candidate that's not willing to listen to new ideas isn't much of a candidate. But if I'm blessed to be your next sheriff, you'll always have an open door to come and share ideas with me anytime. In fact, I'll have a published number that you can call, which will ring on my hip. If I'm tied up, I might not be able to answer, but I will get back to you. So that's happening on October the 6th, 1 to 5. So we'd love to see you come there for that. That's the meet and greet at the Smoke Inn, 1 to 5 next Saturday. And then on the 21st of October, this one's going to be a little fundraiser, I hope, for animal shelters. All funds raised will be distributed to the animal shelters. There's no charge for it. You can just donate to the shelter directly if you're there. We're going to have shelters there where there are animals. This is going to be held at Little River at the Philly and Colts, just right outside the Philly and Colts restaurant doors. And we'll be serving up hot dogs and drinks for us humans and some doggy treats for the dogs, but it'll be a costume event for your dogs and for humans.
And are Nick and Colt going to be dressed up?
Absolutely. They'll be in their sheriff's outfits. So, yeah, you're asked to bring but they won't be eligible for prizes. We'll have some prizes to give away for the winners of the contest. And Matt will be the MC, so should be interesting to see.
That's right, it'll be interesting. You'll like it whether you like it or not.
Right. So we want to come out, and there again, I'd love to meet you, but hopefully it's a good event for dogs. Because you know my passion for dogs, and I've had cats, and I'm passionate about them too. I had one that lasted me 22 years. Her name was Nachos, and she was a great cat. But as you know, the animal shelter falls under the sheriff's domain, and we're going to make it a true no-kill shelter by definition. And all that's explained on our website at adamsforsheriff.com. Exactly what that no-kill shelter is. But we're going to live or exceed that definition of a no-kill shelter on day one. And that's a promise. So we invite you to come out and share your ideas about animals or the sheriff's department itself at the Halloween, we're calling it, H-O-W-L, Howl. The Halloween event at the Filling Colts. That's out there at Little River Golf Club, the clubhouse. And
about 4 miles north of the traffic circle on 15501.
Right. Well, it's 4 miles anywhere you want to go in this world from the traffic circle.
Yeah.
Whatever direction you go in.
Well, except the places that are, like 2.
But anyway, we want you to come out and participate. So the Smoke-In on the 6th, and the 21st will be the Halloween costume event for dogs and their humans. And we'll provide all the food and the drinks and treats and everything else, and be a good socializing time. All right, 8:38. We'll stop the stopwatch now. Okay. What are we doing now? Oh, we'll do some rim shots. Get that frown off your face and wipe a big grin on it, hopefully, before we're through with this. Let's see, rim shots. The cast of This Is Us got a huge pay raise, as you may have heard by now. Finally, maybe they'll stop being so freaking miserable all the time on the show. Isn't it the way it is everybody has a crisis or an emotional event going on every second of that show?
Never watched it.
Little Wayne turns 36 today, and as he does every year, he'll celebrate with his brothers Petite and Teeny. Meatloaf turns 71 today, but enough about the entree at Denny's. Hi-oh! I'm here all week, folks.
Jeez. We don't have a Denny's here in Moore County.
Will Smith celebrated his birthday by bungee jumping off a helicopter. Nice tries. Still not as dangerous as celebrating at Chuck E. Cheese. Rihanna has been appointed ambassador to Barbados. She narrowly beat out the other notable residents of Barbados, like the bartender who made me a pina colada and the one dude that rented me a jet ski. The Cosby Show star, Jeffrey Owens, donated the $25,000 Nicki Minaj gave him to charity. The charity was Jeffrey Owens. Giselle Bündchen said she once considered suicide. It was when she realized that she might not be the prettiest person in her house. Tom had those honors. It was quite devastating to her. You know how that goes. Alaskan Airlines is going to start offering virtual reality headsets to people in first class. But don't people who can afford first class already live in a virtual reality already? A lot of Dunkin' Donuts customers aren't happy with the chain's plan to drop donuts from their name in January. They're Dunkin' Donuts customers, though, so you can safely rule out marching as a form of protest. Grab-and-go robberies are on the rise at Apple stores. One thief recently ran off with $50,000 in equipment. Yep, he stole one iPhone XS. But he was fashionable and chic because he had an XS and you didn't.
Sour grapes and envy just don't sound good on the radio.
Give me my Android any day.
Whatever.
A new study.
So uncouth.
Yeah, I don't have to have Apple's permission to do anything. A new study says a Mediterranean diet rich in vegetables, fruits, nuts, and fish could help lower a person's risk of depression, though it probably has more to do with the diet's daily gallon of wine. West Virginia is going to start allowing people to vote on their phones, which will be incredibly convenient for all 17 West Virginia residents who actually own a cell phone.
Oh, shame.
What's that old story? The reason they call it toothbrush because it was invented in...
Now you just go and screw it up. If I said it, then you'd be calling it a Reader's Digest joke, and it'd be no good.
Yeah.
How do you know that the modern toothbrush was invented in West Virginia? How do we know? Because anywhere else it would have been called the teeth brush.
Okay. Yeah, I would have said it better. Breaking news: the entire 15 minutes has gone by without another Brett Kavanaugh accuser coming forward, courtesy of the Democrats and their fake protesters. And Acapulco's police force has been suspended after being taken over by drug gangs. Also being taken over by drug gangs, everyone and everything else in Mexico. I think what they're doing with dragging all these accusers who then recant, and the skank attorney, what's his name?
Avenatti.
Avenatti, yeah.
I can't figure that guy. He's just an attention whore, I guess. He wants to get into movies or something.
He wants to drag 2 or 3 witnesses there. Yeah, they haven't got a single witness who saw Kavanaugh do anything. That's the thing.
Well, I
hope the two guys have come forward now that said they were the ones who, what's the accuser's name? Dr. what?
Ford.
Ford. They were the ones who put their hand over Dr. Ford's mouth, not Kavanaugh. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
And she's mistaken on who it was.
I'm a little skeptical about that, too. Why would somebody come out and say, hey, I did it?
Well, statute of limitations, long sentence, and he just put his hand over her mouth. He didn't threaten her or anything else, but she had this trauma moment. I'm not discounting that. It's, I
think I heard the felony.
She said she had one, and she had one.
I think I heard the felony would still be a possibility there, but at any rate, yeah. And if
after
you haven't
34
heard
years,
already,
I think the statute of limitation would run out, except on murder, and she wasn't murdered.
Yeah, well, it's different in every state. But if you haven't heard already, this one that Avenatti dragged out said that there were these chain rapes going on, and she went after the first
10 parties of them.
After the first time she was abused, she went back another 9 times.
Yeah. And it was a college function, but yet she didn't go to college. She's just one of these nut jobs that
apparently
holds her 15 minutes.
Apparently it was a high school function, but she went to college, and then during the time period she claims, she would have been in college and went back. So exactly what the story
they say
is,
she didn't ever go to college.
Yeah, well, hard to sort these things out.
Yeah. And you wonder why good people don't want to run for office.
Oh, it's so true.
I mean, county level, yeah, it's been civil.
Other than you.
Although I've gone through a lot of the establishment trying to muscle me out and everything else. Fortunately, I had a radio station I could fight with. I was telling Matt off the air, I said, if I didn't have a radio station, this no way I could have muscled into this thing.
Yeah.
Could not have gotten the signatures and everything else, but people have had it. They want things fixed, and that's what we're going to put on the table. We're going to fix it. And once I'm satisfied it's fixed, then we'll turn it over to somebody and leave it in good hands. But I'll get it fixed for you. But you know, when you start running for statewide office and even local offices to the state house, you know, it gets pretty nasty, and the games that are played to keep the establishment in place is what you're fighting. And they're well funded, and it's tough to beat them. It is really tough, even if you've got a better plan. It's tough to get heard because they make sure you can't. You can go to the functions, and they always favor who they've picked, even if you're of the same party. if you're both Republicans, because I saw it at the Republican Men's Club, just plain slaps across the face, where they would introduce one candidate as the candidate running for this seat and another candidate as the mayor of such and such. But they don't mention that they're running for that seat too, you know, and giving the impression that only this person's qualified for that seat, not the other person. And the slap in the face is done like that, and it's not right. It's not right. But you get me in there, and then I can start exposing this stuff, just like we did with the underhanded stuff that was going on at the sheriff's department. You know, people committing serious crimes and getting away with little misdemeanors. Don't want to rehash that, but we'll get it fixed. But we've got to start somewhere. And that's why I'm running, and that's why I hope you'll give me the chance. All right, pay for battles for sheriff. All right, where are we at? Snurdly, where are we at? Okay, we're there. All right, let's do it.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad treats, you go to school and learn the golden.
All right, my friends, it's time once again drawing that big breath of air, let our big hairy chest stick out. As we strut across the floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Boy, could he make a floor distinguished when he goes across it. Open up our closet doors. Look at all 30 of our Liberty safes. And today, Matt, I'll let you pick out the safe end to go.
All right, we're going to go, let's go with number 20 today, Steve. This is a Liberty 1776 model. These 1776 models have 1 hour burn times. Your house can be on fire for an hour. The stuff inside will still be safe. Longer than that typically, but that's the
minimum.
That's the minimum. And I'm going to give you well, you got to open it first, Steve.
All right. Now she's open with my secret number.
Here is a Beretta PX4 Storm semi-auto, and this one's chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson.
All right, well, we'll throw that into the holster, put on our badge, grab 5 cans of whoop ass as we now head out the door in relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news. It's amazing how arrogant some people get when they drink. If a sober person tries to help you out, maybe listen to them. A woman named Melissa Azell recently stopped at a convenience store in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. And she seemed like she'd been drinking. So someone else who was there tried to stop her from driving home drunk. But she wasn't having any of that and insisted that she was just fine to drink and drive. They still wouldn't let her leave, though, so she did the only logical thing. She flagged down the police to help her out. Well, the police gave her a breathalyzer test, which she failed. And since she'd just driven to the store, she got a DUI. Yeah, that alcohol brings out the best in that fault pattern, doesn't it?
And you know from watching Cops, you know that she was just astounded and perplexed. What are you arresting me for?
I don't know. Can't talk to alcohol. She was also facing child endangerment charges because the kids were in the car. Yeah. Isn't she bright? Stupid criminal news number 2. You know how when a teenager gets caught up with a bag of weed, one of the most common excuses is it's oregano. This almost seems like the universe getting its revenge here. A group of teenagers broke into a marijuana dispensary in Colorado Springs, Colorado, because it's legal there. While they've been hanging around.
A lot of oregano.
And they did this yesterday around 1 in the morning. And they drove a stolen van through the front door, grabbed a bunch of weed out of the display, and ran off. Yeah, that drug has no effect on them whatsoever, does it?
No, there's money involved.
I need some weed, man. Where do you want to get it? Oh, let's just drive through the front door. Take out the store. Hell with this guy. We'll take his weed.
As I understand it, there's a black market in these states because the state makes it so expensive with lots of taxes.
Anyway, they drove the van through the front door, grabbed a bunch of weed out of the display, and ran off. But here's what they didn't know. The weed store doesn't put the real stuff in its display case. So those teenagers stole a bunch of oregano. Cops are still trying to track them down, like them to pay for that front door and do a little jail time. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Thursday.
Dude, I don't have a buzz, but man, I smell tasty.
Yeah. I can sprinkle it on my food and go all Martha Stewart on you now. All righty. All right, let's put our fingers in the air as called for.
And now it's time for
Random
facts. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, a random fact for today and maybe a spare. The Oakland A's and Cleveland Indians played 2 games using orange baseballs in 1973. It was the A's owner's idea. He thought it'd be easier to see, but the players hated them, so they scrapped them. It's kind of like with golf, isn't it? I mean, they got those orange balls, yellow balls. You don't see the pros play with them. I don't know if it's officially banned, but they're legal to use. I never like them. I'm a white ball guy, traditionalist.
Definitely would be easier to find out in the rough, in the love grass.
Yeah, well, you get used, whatever you want. There are plenty of people who use them. There was a third founder of Apple besides Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, a guy named Ronald Wayne. But he sold his 10% stake in the company for $800 after 2 weeks. Today, if he had held on to it, it'd be worth $100 billion with a B dollars.
Oh, man. Oh, that hurts.
Sucks to be him. Well, I wouldn't hire him as my financial advisor, I can tell you that. Mall of America in Minnesota is owned by a Canadian company. I don't know if that's a big surprise. Sam and Frodo walked a total of 1,350 miles in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is like walking from L.A. to Austin, Texas. And you're spared today, approximately 625,000 soldiers died in the Civil War, but only about 1/3 of them died in battle. 2/3 died from disease like malaria and measles that spread around the camps. Wow.
And Steve, do you know why we don't have, by the way, I believe that the current war going on is the first war the U.S. has fought where most deaths happen in combat because we have beaten the other factors to it. But do you know? Yeah, we'll skip the other part.
All right, today's impossible question. 33% of people do this before they take a photo. What is it?
Before they take a photo, check their hair.
No. Floss. They floss.
Baloney.
A new survey found 47% of women say they struggle with picking out this most days.
What to wear.
What to wear to work. 63% of people who like to vacation in the winter said this would absolutely ruin their vacation.
A snowstorm.
No, the boss calling. A recent survey says...
Well, why is that different from people who vacation in the summer?
I don't know.
All right.
A recent survey says the best time to interview for a job is between 9 and 11. 25% of people spend more time doing this at the gym than exercising.
Looking at themselves.
Showering. Sitting in the sauna or hot tub.
Ah, yes.
47% of men have accidentally said this with a new girlfriend.
I love you.
Yeah. Never say that. That will chase them away.
Yes.
It's twice as likely that you'll do this in the afternoon at work than it is in the morning.
That you'll do this in the afternoon at work. Surf the internet.
Complain. And women pride themselves in the unique skill of having this.
Unique skill of having intuition.
Yeah, that's credit. A sixth sense.
Sixth sense. Most of those were impossible, Steve.
Most were, but not all. All right. I guess that's pretty much all we got time for, huh? Well, so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow. 7 to 9 for a TSIF. Thanks, Steve. It's Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airwaves, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money stays here, rolls over, and creates jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with a quote from evangelist D.L. Moody. If I take care of my character, my reputation will take care of itself until a bunch of partisan hacks come in and crucify me. Well, all right, I added that last part. Stay tuned for Chris Plant, followed by Rush Limbaugh. Sean Hannity's at 3, Mark Levin is at 6, and we'll be back at 7 tomorrow for Mornings with the Leader Man.